Hello everybody. Time for another video. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you guys watching. And thank you very much. There's somebody out there who goes through and likes all of my videos. I believe all of them have one like, and it wasn't me. For a while there, I was just liking my own videos and I was like the only one. So thank you to that individual who's been liking my videos. It's quite encouraging and I appreciate that. So now I want to talk about Exodus 23 and 4. It's just talking about pretty much how there's only one God, one. That's it. And only one God should be exalted. And only one God is what you put your faith in. Sorry. So this is me reading from the 10 Commandments. The first of the 10 Commandments is, "You shall have no other gods before me." That's pretty clear. God is it. You can't put other things and make it your God. That is idolatry, and that is the next verse there. But I don't know. People oftentimes take biblical scriptures and there's something to be considered along with something else when the scriptures are the measuring stick to everything else. So it doesn't matter if it's a political ideology, some sort of trend, a YouTube channel where someone's giving advice. That's what really prompted this train of thought with me and kind of inspired this video, because I see a lot of YouTube channels out there that have these big followings, and then people are like, man, you've changed my life. Wow, like this is good advice. I wish someone had said this to me years ago. And that's great, but oftentimes there's always something in this person's thought process that if someone followed that bit of it, or if they bought everything that this person said, hook, line, and sinker, they'd end up ruining their life. Like 75% of what they say might be a good, positive thing, but then there's like 25% that if someone really, really took this to heart and really like followed this, by the letter, they'd ruin their life. Period. And when it comes to these YouTube channels and such, and pretty much anything on social media, or in the media period, it's just social media is a little bit worse because everyone is a producer, or can be a producer. You don't know where this is coming from. You don't really know what their real motivation is, because quite oftentimes people are selling things, and I believe that a lot of people are fronts for other people. I've seen women running YouTube channels, and I'm pretty sure that there's a man behind them telling them to say these things, just because people will receive it differently if it's an attractive looking woman saying this stuff, whereas really it's her husband that's telling her to say this. Same thing with minorities. Sometimes I think that, I'm pretty sure there's one YouTuber who's been around a long, long time, quite controversial, very popular with a certain crowd of people. It's a black man. I'm pretty sure that he's getting paid by somebody who's not black. I'm pretty sure, because everything that he says is extremely, extremely negative, and it's been the same like for years and years and years. I do not listen to this person. I mean, I did at one point, but it's just like, gosh, it's like beating a dead horse. Like, how much is there to say? And I'm just like, okay, this is destructive. This is destructive. But with a lot of these channels, like I said, even when I completely disagree with the person, when there is a social media personality, like a politician, a personality on TV, it can be a person who I really do not see the value in anything they're talking about for the most part. But sometimes they'll say something and he'll be like, okay, he's got us there. Like, I see the point, I see where he's coming from with that. So that's why you got to take things people say with a grain of salt, because for the most part, somebody can be just a mess and you disagree with everything they say, but then there will be one thing that, okay, that kind of makes sense. And then there's the opposite, where for the most part, you can be like, yeah, this person's great. But then you listen to them enough and they get to the point and they just kind of go off the edge with what they're saying. So, you know, basically, no one is God and no one is perfect other than God. Hope I didn't go off on a weird tangent there. But anyway, once again, Exodus 23, you shall have no other gods before me. So the Bible, this is the word of God. This is what you need to measure things up against, not what the president says, the mayor says, a YouTube personality, this celebrity, that celebrity. You need to kind of measure up with this. Oh, and furthermore, God really does love us and want what's best for us. And I believe that the word of God, I've seen it in my life where really it does work out for your benefit when you are obedient to what the Bible is saying. Things really do work out for your benefit. Whereas when you follow people, usually they want you to follow them and they want to gain your trust for their benefit and for their glory in one way or another. A lot of these various social media personalities that like to give advice, they have commented on, oh yeah, this person, or people reach out to me and they want me to mentor them. Well, yeah, I'll do it at a fee. So then they will, charge you. If they really, really wanted to just help people and reach out, they would probably just go ahead and just do that, without any monetary compensation. So I've seen a few of them, I've seen people, selling books. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. I think that it can be a positive thing. Honestly, I think that if you need some kind of professional help, you should probably reach out to somebody in your community, somebody who you put some face time in with, or hire a professional therapist. Because I still just really wouldn't trust somebody who, has a large Twitter following who now all of a sudden is a mentor. I don't know, I wouldn't trust it. Okay, so Exodus 24. Exodus chapter 20, verse 4. It's about idolatry. You shall not make for yourself an idol in the form of anything in heaven above, in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the fathers to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. Yikes. But showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. Well, that's good. So, yeah, just be careful of what you're putting up on a pedestal. Be careful of what you're worshiping. Be careful of what you give space in your life, because there's so many voices. That's the thing about, media today. It's just, especially like social media and Twitter and all that stuff, there's so many voices. And it can be very, very, very confusing if you don't have a foundation and you don't have, that moral compass or whatever what you believe to be truth. If you're a Christian, you're supposed to believe that the Bible is the absolute truth, and then that's your measuring stick. If you don't have that, man, this world will drive you nuts, because there's just so many opinions just swirling around, and I think it all kind of influences people a little bit. More oftentimes than not, I think that it influences people in a negative way, because outrage and anger seems to drive people a little bit more than positive things. And you can tell that, like if you look at a YouTube channel, or if you look at a feed, some kind of a social media feed on a celebrity, there could be numerous, sometimes hundreds of positive comments, like, oh, I love you, you're the greatest, hey, I saw your show in Arkansas a few months ago, whatever. And then somebody will say something negative, and that's what they respond to. So, I think a lot of people like to stir up dissension just because people just seem to respond to that more. So just remember that we're called to be loving, we're called to love others, we're called to try and have peace and, lead peaceful lives. So remember that. Um, and I get caught up too. I'm honestly pretty bad about getting caught up in arguments on social media. I've been kicked off of Facebook, been kicked off of Twitter. I swear I wasn't being that mean. I was just, I don't know, kind of opinionated. People didn't like what I had to say. It wasn't even anything about the Bible. It was about like other things. I didn't think it was that bad. But anyway, just remember who God is. If you believe in Jesus Christ, just remember who God is and learn your word, learn the Bible, be prayerful, because this is a scary, wicked world that we're living in right now. There's a lot of negative influences out there that are just seeking to just destroy people, destroy families, destroy communities. And that's not what God calls for at all. So stay woke, y'all. Stay woke. Stay woke.